Next, let us see the simple taxonomy on cloud computing. This is for the benefit of people who are quite fresh into the subject. See, the cloud provider, they own huge data centers and several services running on them. They offer us several services and components under the utility computing paradigm. It means that we pay for what we use. There can be variations to it. However, if you become one of the cloud user to them, then you can become a SaaS provider. To become a SaaS provider, one has to master a few cloud computing platforms or a select platform and should have the capabilities to develop web applications. So as a SaaS provider, you sit and develop web applications and make it available to the public or for the corporate. So then end user really consume software as a service. So this simple taxonomy on cloud computing is quite important, because when you look into the services market and offerings on cloud technologies, you may find several cloud providers, you may find several SaaS providers, and it is quite important that you should understand where you place yourself. So if you are interested in building a career or doing a business along with cloud provider, you should go to such huge, very huge businesses such as Microsoft or Google or Akamai, or for that matter, there are a lot of cloud providers coming up every other day. But when you look at in a scenario like our society, where the resources are at huge constraint and at the same time there is abundance in talent, being a SaaS provider could be a good option. And as a SaaS provider, you continuously build web applications looking at the market requirement and make it available on the internet, so that SaaS user may pay you for the functionality of your applications and based on its usefulness. Slide is transitioning, please wait. Fine. PaaS caters to both. When you look at the scenario, an application architect, he looks for ways and means to build and meet the application's functional requirements. But that is not sufficient for an entrepreneur. What he needs is an assurance from the provider to meet most of the non-functional requirements, such as reliability, scalability, elasticity. You just name all abilities which could not be met in early 2000, caused the called .com burst. Application might have caught somebody's imagination as a market imagination, but the infrastructure requirement for running such an application is very huge, and sometimes it may not be even possible to scale to the market response. So entrepreneur in web is always worried about how good, how scalable, how economical can be my platform or the web serving infrastructure. And luckily, we are in an era where PaaS caters to both. So if you are a developer, you may start looking at architecting an application, and you may start making use of the services and APIs provided by PaaS. But if you are an entrepreneur or both, you will look into the capability of the platform to scale and the reliability and so on and so forth. PaaS vendors, I'm providing you a partial list. The list is so huge so that we cannot really make any meaningful discussion on all the PaaS vendors. But just to mention a few, Google App Engine is coming from the well-known Google Incorporate, and Cloud Foundry is from VMware. Amazon Web Services, probably the most successful infrastructure as a service company, and Heroku. So what is the difference? All these platforms are around, and this is a very small list what we are talking about. There are a huge number of players in this market. All PaaS vendors will have their own unique selling propositions. Also, they will have restrictions on how we can make use of their platform. It is not that some platform can make use of all technologies around. For example, you take the case of Google App Engine, where you can use popular technologies like Java Stack as well as Python, and also a language called Go. Cloud Foundry claims to be an open source initiative. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And Amazon Web Services has got something called Beanstalk, which supports Java Stack. We'll move to the next slide. An entrepreneur